Welcome, y'all, to the 411 podcast. What's going on, everybody out there? If you are on Facebook, what's up? If you're on Instagram, what's going on? TikTok, what's up? And we are also streaming live from YouTube tonight. So, welcome back, YouTube. Welcome, everybody, to the 411 podcast. So, we got a special show tonight. We have Miss Jeslyn from Unique and Lovely LLC. So, I can't wait to speak to Miss Jeslyn tonight. Um, Song of the day. Anybody know this group called Belle Biv DeVoe? So, Song of the day is Do Me by Belle Biv DeVoe off of the album Poison. I'm sure that y'all know the famous song Poison, released in 1990, um, you know, off of the Poison album. So, Do Me, Belle Biv DeVoe from the Poison album, released in 1990. And it also is Michael Bivins' birthday. So, happy birthday to Michael Bivins, member of Belle Biv DeVoe. And since we on the Belle Biv DeVoe topic, I want to know, what is your favorite New Edition song, and also who is your favorite New Edition member? So there y'all go. Song of the day, "Do Me" by Belle Biv DeVoe. Want to give a shout out to a few people who support the 401 podcast. What's going on out there on Facebook? People who support the 401 podcast, I want to give a special shout out to my friend Kathy. It's all in the cars with Kathy. Misco, what's up? How you doing? Can't wait to chat with you again. Thank you so much for supporting. Bethany, my girl Bethany, all the way from California. Support her and her business called fuckbeingfat.com. That is PHUCK, beingfat.com. What's going on, Taisha? I see you out there on Facebook. Carol Cordera, how are you? I'm so upset that we didn't get a chance to hook up out in Florida, but thank you so much. Maybe next time. Manifesting a Legacy, check out that platform. Mr. Trenton, New Jersey himself, Farrell Higginbotham, what's going on? Thank you for showing some love. Cherries Sparks, my girl Lakeisha in Abundance Moon, what's going on? Kathy Hawkins, and of course, Something Unique. My girl all the way from ATL, Miss Lachelle Williams, SOS. I don't know if you out there tonight, but special shout out to Miss SOS. What's going on? And my sister Desiree Covington, Destiny's Donations, and of course Queen Dawn Spirit. What's going on? Queen, Michael Priest, True Podcast, a fellow podcasters out there. Thank you for supporting as well. So shout out to True Podcast. Dr. Stephen Baum, what's going on? I see you out there. My sister, my friend, hold me down. Definitely support the 401 podcast and Reading Between the Lines. Miss K. Cole from Karma's Paradise. Thank you so much for, showing me all kinds of love and support. And my girl from last night, Miss Keisha Reed, she did the damn thing. So if y'all want to go ahead and watch that replay from last night, it's definitely something, check that out. Watch that replay from yesterday. So now, speaking of yesterday, all of this excitement that's going on, all of this hype about, the coronavirus is backfiring, the Delta variant, whatever the hell you want to call it. So the question that I had yesterday was COVID-19, shot or no shot? So Stephen Bond, I know you got something to say about this. He actually wrote a book based off of COVID-19 as well. So y'all go ahead and check him out, Dr. Stephen Bond. Right now, he is out there on Instagram Live. If y'all want to go ahead and, switch over and go ahead and follow him. But so when it comes to COVID-19, what are your thoughts? Shot or no shot? Because people say maybe you should get a shot, and then other people say maybe you shouldn't get a shot. I'm getting a shot. I'm not getting it. I'm for it. I'm against it, whatever the case may be. So the burning question recap from last night is shot or no shot? When it comes to COVID-19, is it a shot for you or is it a no shot? I'm just saying. I don't know. All I say is that I want all of this stuff to end. And if that means that maybe some people, have to sacrifice a little bit just to make it work, then I guess so be it. But it seems like so many people are hell bent on going one way or going the other, and it seems like games are being played just to get people to, get a shot. So we're going to go ahead and throw you some free money. We're going to go ahead and do this and do that. My predictions, and I don't know anything, I think that for the people who don't get the shot, your life is not going to be, you know, streamlined the way it used to be. It's going to be a hell of a lot more difficult for you to do some of the things that you want to do. Some of the airlines, they're requiring their workers to get a shot. And if they don't get a shot, then apparently they will lose their job. So what do you think that means for the average individual who doesn't have a shot? Do you think that you're going to board that plane when the workers have to get a shot, or if not, they're going to be terminated? You think that they're going to let an everyday citizen go on that plane without getting a shot? And this might not happen this year. It may not happen next year, but as time goes on, I definitely have a good sense that people who do not get a COVID-19 shot, they may not have such an easy, streamlined life like they used to. What's going on, Will? How are you? Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you out there. So now we're getting ready to reach out to Miss Jeslyn from Unique and Lovely LLC. Nicole's Closet. What's going on? You are definitely showing up and showing out here tonight, and I appreciate y'all for coming right on inside the 411 podcast. So let's go ahead and get my special guest, Miss Jeslyn from Unique and Lovely LLC. And again, for those of you who want to go ahead and show some support, go ahead and jump on over to YouTube. That is at Laren Gaines, LERINGAINES, and I'm sure I'll pop right up if you type that in on YouTube. What's going on, SOS? How are you? I just found out something new. All right. That's what we're doing tonight.
Hello?
What's going on? Welcome to the 411 podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Thank you for coming. We are actually streaming live from YouTube tonight. So tell all of your listeners and supporters to go on over to Laren Gaines. All you have to do is go onto YouTube and type up LERINGAINES, and I should pop right up. I want someone to go ahead and check out YouTube and let me know what the video quality is, what the sound quality is. Drop something in the comments and let me know what's going on out there. So, Miss Jeslyn, what's up?
Hi, how you doing, Larry?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there. Oh, I see someone on YouTube. Thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate you. So where are you calling from? Because I like learning about where everyone is coming from these days.
Yes, I'm calling from Columbia, Maryland.
Oh, that's what's up. So we're actually pretty close. I'm from New Jersey, so shout out to Maryland. What's going on? So what's it to do these days?
Well, some of the COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted, so people are outside in the streets, going to bars and restaurants and all that good stuff, and there's lots of kickbacks and things like that. I'm still kind of staying 6 feet apart, but the outside is what you call opened up, at least here in Maryland, at least for right now.
So now, are you opened up or are you still closed in? And when I mean that, are you, being careful about the places that you go? Are you being careful with the things you touch? Or are you practicing the 6-foot rule? Or are you washing your hands frequently like you were when, this thing first popped off?
Yeah, so I'll say I'm opening up. But I'm still maneuvering with, of course, the 6 feet, the washing hands, because we all should have been doing that anyway. And just being very mindful of where I'm going, especially when it comes to going out to like restaurants and things like that. I am a self-proclaimed germaphobe, so I always carry hand sanitizer with me anyway.
You and I might actually get along, because I was cracking up. These people were like, "Oh, the 6-foot rule. Get out of here." I was like practicing a 10-foot rule like 10 years ago. Like, get out of here. Stay away from me.
Exactly.
Your kids digging up your nose and touching everything and all over the place. Get out of here. I saw somebody actually go to the bathroom recently, and they didn't just go and take a piss. They were in the stall, and they came fresh out, clean out, and walked right out the door. And this was actually a restaurant too. Yeah, and this was in good old Orlando, Florida. I was like, well, that is something else. That this is supposed to be one of the hot states, and I can see why when you got people doing stuff like that.
Yes, as soon as you said Florida, I was like, oh, well, no shade to Florida, no shade. I'm just saying.
I definitely was shocked though. You know, when you listen to how everybody carry on about it, to see what I saw, I was definitely thrown back by it. I thought, you know, people would be more restricted, tightened up with their actions and stuff, and that clearly was not the case. I actually see people who pull their mask down to have a conversation.
Yeah, I try not to do that, but I will admit sometimes it's hard for me to hear with the mask, and then also when I'm talking, I have like a low voice, so I think it's also hard for people to hear me.
You know, you and I relate on so many different levels so far. One of the worst things is to you're having issues with it. All right. Oh, you're having issues with IG. Oh, okay. So, how's YouTube then? How do we sound up there tonight? You know what I like about the mask is it covers up your face, and it's good for when you want to cuss people out. Because, you know, half the time they don't even have to hear what I'm saying, but my mouth be moving and the facial expressions. And so I'm looking forward to wearing my mask this winter, because it's definitely coming. Some people are going to get a whole bunch of good cussing out. But you know what tripped me up it was this year. What tripped me up is because once the summertime came and the mask came off, I found myself still talking in public like that. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, people gonna think that, you know, I have to watch. But yeah, that was good when that mask was on, all that good cussing and turning my face up and people couldn't even see it. That's coming back this winter.
See, that's something else that we have in common. My face, before I even say anything, my face will start reacting.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, with the mask, really people can only see the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So it definitely helps. But I'm like, why are you so close to me? Why are you breathing this direction? Oh my God, you just coughed. Ew. You know.
What is your zodiac sign? When were you born?
So I'm a Virgo.
Now, what month is that? Because I'm on. So is that like September-ish?
Yes. So it's end of August, beginning of September.
Okay. All right. So you got a birthday coming soon. That's what's up. All right.
Yep. Sure do.
So let's talk about your business. So Unique and Lovely LLC. Talk to me about the name. How did you come up with the name, and what do you do?
So, I mean, this business really has been years in the making. When I was a child, my father watched some TV show just giving parenting advice on how to build self-esteem and confidence in your children. So he just decided to start call every time we would talk. He's like, how are you doing, Unique and Lovely?
Wow.
You know, what's going on, Unique and Lovely? And so, like, I mean, years. And so I kind of started as like a freelance graphic designer. I was coming up with different illustrations and things like that. And my mom was like, you know, you're going out here spending all this money buying graphic tees from other people when you could be selling your design and selling your graphic tees to someone else. And when it came to thinking of the name, I mean, Unique and Lovely just popped right up. And with every design that I create, that I sell, that premise of, acknowledging your uniqueness and knowing that what makes you different is what makes you lovely. It's what makes you you.
Wow.
And it's kind of putting forward that affirmation that my father poured into me as a child onto everyone else, that I interact with or that ends up purchasing or receiving one of my T-shirts.
I like that. What's up, Dario? How are you? You don't, well, I don't. Let me back this thing up a bit. Someone who always wanted to hear some of those conversations that you were just speaking about, somebody who always wanted to have that male role model, that figure in my life. I didn't grow up with a good, strong male presence that actually was able to teach me, what I needed to be taught. So when I hear stories like that of men, being for what they should be, is a genuine caring and being a man, it touches me in a different way. And that's why when it comes to my children, because what I didn't have, I treat them so much different compared to when I was coming up. So I always talk to them and have those one-on-one conversations. Sometimes it's, a little more less direct, but like, listen, sort of like along the lines of what you say. You are unique and you are lovely. Like when we have our one-on-one time, and you done seen the shit that I done been through. You done seen it all. I have been put here, I guess, as an example, when I stumbled up and I made all kinds of mistakes. But one thing that you will not do is let anybody make you feel less than. So you are special, you are this, you are that, and Jason, please believe and understand that. So I have those conversations with my daughters in a different way. I appreciate you coming on. I hope that they are going to watch this play and they're going to get this knowledge, because, this is another reason why, I come out here and I do what I do, because, I have my legacy that I'm, protecting and things like that. And this is to be left down for somebody else to see and listen to as well.
Yes, because I mean, it's important. And I'm a firm believer in just spreading that energy as far as you can. I may not necessarily be able to change the world, but if I can change one person by just giving what I've been given, like that's the legacy I want to leave behind.
It's sometimes where I'll just be sitting here and I'll get a DM or I'll get a text message or something like that. And someone will be like, your show last night is, what was it ever? You know what I'm saying? This happened, that happened. Or how are you doing today? What's up? Because X, Y, and Z, this happened, that happened. So I get what you're saying. And it ain't going to be a whole bunch of people. There are some times where I got like 3 or 4 people that's rocking with me until the show's done. But, it's that one person out there. So I get that. And as long as I can reach just one person every now and then, I'm good.
Yes, exactly.
So, how long have you been doing this?
Officially 2015. So actually my business just celebrated a birthday. I'm going to say yesterday.
Wow. Congratulations. That's big. That's real big. So now, with all of this, you've been doing this for a minute now. Is this your sole source of income, or are you hustling 2 and 3 jobs like most people trying to make your dreams come true?
And I love the way that you said it. I'm definitely hustling. So I have my full-time job, which I call my dream funder. Like it provides the funds that I need to pursue my dream and my purpose. And honestly, as I continue growing, I know that Unique and Lovely is going to expand beyond just clothing, because I realize when you empower the mind, the body follows. And so I'm selling things right now that kind of help you arm your body or adorn your body. But I do also also want to get into, selling people things that help you on your mind or during your mind. So, like, I kind of write in my spare time. And a lot of the messages on my shirts actually come from like poetry and different thoughts that I've had that I'm just sharing with the world.
Wow, I'm really digging this vibe here tonight. We got a lot of good things in common. So you said you write poetry, things like that. Are you into like quotes and stuff?
Yes, and saying that you mentioned that, so I want to say I started this year in around February, where I send out a weekly affirmation, and so a lot of those affirmations are kind of from the top of my head or just from things that I'm experiencing and like seeing, and I kind of combine them together. So a lot of this stuff kind of starts with me, like what message do I need to hear, and I kind of just put it out into the universe, and people actually will reach out to me, will send me emails, and just kind of say how much that resonates with them, which makes me feel really good.
I like that. So, what's one of your favorite quotes or one of your favorite affirmations that you like to repeat to yourself?
So, one of the favorite ones that I like to repeat to myself, because I like to remind myself of it, is that I am love, and that love always finds me. So no matter where I am, who I'm interacting with, whether I'm dealing with, or what have you, that love will always find its way back to me because I'm love. I'm always giving that out. There's no choice for it to come back to me.
One thing that I like to been repeating, that I am abundance, and it flows through me. It flows to me and through me. So first, I want to make sure that it flows to me. I'm secure, and once it flows to me, and then now after I need it to flow through me, so that anybody who's connected to me, they will receive as well. So that's one of the ones that I have been repeating to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely gonna have to.
Flows to me, and flows through me, and I'm gonna have something coming very soon in the future to definitely help all of the listeners out there speak some positivity and work on changing that mindset, because that's very important. Speaking from somebody who was always pessimistic my entire life, and I basically just switched it up and changed it up only about 1.5 years ago. So even today it's still new, and I have to remind myself to think very positive and keep pushing and moving in the right direction, because when you go some damn near 30 years of speaking negativity and just being negative, and all of a sudden you only got like 2 years of trying to do it the right way, and when you come into a rock and a hard place, you're like, all right, well, what's easy to do? Go back to being the way you used to be 30 years and or continue to push forward and do this path of walking into the unknown. It's so easy to slip back into the past 30 years of what I used to do versus walking that unknown path and stepping out on faith. So it's crazy, but it's reality.
You're absolutely right. It really is. Sometimes I have to remind myself, like healing and choosing to do things differently. Like it's an everyday commitment.
Yes,
it's not like a quick fix. It's not like, okay, I'm going to just be a person, and then you don't have to feed into it anymore. Like you have to constantly nourish that commitment, choose it, whether it's a good day or a bad day. But I think that's what makes it worth it. And I think when we as individuals do that, we can also give other people permission to do it, or encourage and inspire them to choose differently, to choose to be better, to choose to move with intention.
Jesslyn, I have no idea what happened tonight. Now, I thought that you were going to come on here. You were going to talk about Unique and Lovely LLC. I have no idea what is going on, but the vibe you and I got tonight is just something special. It's something real. And I just say thank you so much for coming on. Ugh, like you started when you were talking about the mind, and I'm all about changing your mindset. And I changed mine a couple years ago, basically by getting into books and quotes and reading over and over and over again, and pretty much changing my mindset. But even though I started there, that wasn't enough. You still have to continue to train your brain every single day, because sometimes you can be your own worst enemy and fall back into those same traps of what you used to do, because your brain is so comfortable of doing the stuff that you used to do. It's going to pick the easy way. It's not going to always pick the hard and rough and tangle with the tangle to make it work. It's interesting, but it's definitely training your brain to think differently.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I hear you thanking me, but I really just want to thank you, because when you reached out months ago, I felt like I wasn't necessarily in the best space. I wasn't sure what I was doing with my business, like if anybody was paying attention, if anybody saw me. And like when you reached out, it was really just a sign, like, okay, keep going. You're being rewarded for what you're doing. So I really appreciate this opportunity. I can't thank you enough.
You are so welcome. Let me tell you about watching you. There were so many times where I would press play and there wasn't a soul out there at all. But I still had a message, and I still have a vision. I still had a dream. So I continued to keep doing it night after night after night after night. And eventually somebody's going to see you, and they'll show up. And that's exactly so. And sometimes I have a great night and we got people out there live, and then some nights it'd be like 4 or 5, but I'm not going to, because on Monday night and then by Wednesday or Thursday it died down. It is what it is. You don't let simple things like that get you discouraged to continue to keep pressing on. So when you do have those lows, they are going to come. What goes up must come down, and nobody's ever going to stay on top forever. Just keep pressing on, and that's for anybody out there and anything that you're doing. Just keep pressing on. And sometimes it's not the glam and what everybody else says, and that it's what is resonating in your heart and what you feel. And when you're reaching out to your power and he gives you permission, you good. Then you don't even need to worry about what anybody else has to say.
That's true. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
The tone, Jim.
Because when he says yes, can't nobody stop you then. Wow. So unique and lovely. Everyone, please reach out and support Jeslyn. She has a wonderful business, unique and lovely .biz, unique and lovely .biz. Is there anything as far as product wise or promotions that or highlight tonight?
Yes, so 2 things. I want to discuss one of my most popular promotions. So anybody that's paid before, they have a card discount code. And so the discount code I'm going to share with all your listeners tonight is Loyal Lovely, all spelled out. You put those 2 words together. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. And checking out, you get an additional 15% off of your order. And then all orders that are $50 or more are free shipping, no matter where you are in the United States.
That's what's up.
And then the other thing I kind of want to highlight is one of my favorite designs, and honestly one of the best sellers. It's called the Manifest Tee. Different variations, but what I love about it is just kind of the process of manifesting. And it's just a design that has it in a circle, and it just says ask, align, prepare, receive, and give thanks. And it just goes in a circle and it continues, because that's really the important manifesting. And I had to realize after I started selling to people that not only that I knew, but people that I had never met, like I manifested this. I said, years ago that I was going to be here. And sometimes you get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, and you think like, I haven't made it, I haven't done anything. Yeah. But you have to remind yourself, like, years ago you weren't. This was a dream for you years ago, and now you're living this dream. So, like, I fall in love with that message and that design every time I see one of those shirts. It's my favorite design so far.
I need to check that out. I like that. If you have a picture of it or something like that, if you can send that to me, text that to me, that would be great. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to get paid to talk and, teach people. I ain't necessarily like what the hell I was teaching them, but I used to get paid to do it. And you got to be careful too, because, you will say some things that could trip you up and cause a whole lot of different things to change. But I remember one day I was just bored. I was like, here we go, this regular routine journey again. I got to go through this stuff and pretend that I like these products, and I got to teach all of these people to sell these products and all this stuff. And I was sitting at my desk one time and I was like, man, I just wish that I could continue to have these conversations with people, but I want to do it different. I want it to be about music. Like, I want to talk about music, and I want to talk about my life. And my life was pretty good at that time. But, and then I started to think, oh, well, if I want to talk about my life, I'm going to have to go back to dig to when I was a child and some of the traumatic things that I went through as a child. But then how much I can't stay there, because, that's like a short period of time. So I'm like, I really don't have much to talk about. Well, God was like, well, okay, I got you, because I'm ready to give you a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. This is about to happen, that's about to happen, I'm about to do this. You don't like the job you're doing, you're busy, so you want to do something, you want to talk about it, I'm going to switch this around, and then you're going to have to work hard back up to get to where you were before. And then that's where the gratitude, that's where the things come in. That's where it's whole, yeah, I kind of did ask for all of this stuff to happen in the way that it did. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I mean, granted, I know 2020 is difficult. It's been difficult for everyone. Shoot, even 2021. But I can just think for myself, I kind of was feeling wayward. I was like, what is my purpose? Like, what am I doing? Yeah. And all these things happened. Yeah. Like, in the first 6 months of 2020, it was just loss after loss after loss. And I was like, what more can you take from me? But aside from just the losses, like, I also lost that thing that was holding me back. Mm-hmm. So I've lost some of my fear. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and he's kind of saying he loves that kind of like the effort attitude that I have. Yeah. And that's not something that I had before those losses. Like, that adversity pushed me. It's like, I've already lost these things that I wanted, that I loved so much.
Exactly.
Why don't I just try this? Because what else do I have to lose?
Exactly.
And that's when I started really like investing and I rededicated myself to my business. Mm-hmm. And it's been such an improvement. And it's just crazy because I was in it, and I'm not saying I'm not still in kind of that healing process of recovery from those losses. But when I was really in the thick of it, I could not see past the pain. But I just I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I can't stay in this pain anymore. I don't like this feeling. And I just started kind of pouring it out into like my art and my designs. And I always, like, on my personal IG page, I call myself the alchemist. And I say I turn negative energy into creative solutions. Mm. And so that was really that process. It's like, okay, God was like, you're going to call yourself the alchemist? Well, here's some negative experience.
See what I'm saying?
You transmute that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear you. Wow. Jaslyn, Unique and Lovely. Unique and Lovely LLC. Y'all can go ahead and go to the website, uniqueandlovely.biz. Having such a great conversation here tonight. We got burning questions coming up, and I'm like, oh, we keep talking, or do we get on into burning questions? So, burning questions is a segment of the show for all of the new people out there who are watching, anybody watching a relay, where we basically flip the interview and it goes from talking about my guests to basically talking about real life situations. And it might be something that you're going through, it might be something that your neighbor's going through, your uncle, cousin, brother, sister, whoever. Um, this is just burning questions. It's your opinion. There is no wrong answer. It is what it is, and or no wrong response. Your opinion is your opinion, and mine is mine. So, now with all that's been going on, people have been locked down, held down. There's a hell of a lot more people doing a lot more drugs, and a lot of people who are drinking a hell of a lot more to try to numb the pain away, or whatever you want to call it. So, with that being said, I wanted to talk about some people who know full well that they probably shouldn't do things. Like your doctor probably said, maybe you should not smoke anymore because this could cause, you know, lung cancer or whatever. Or maybe you shouldn't smoke because you're going to have to be on an oxygen tank, a couple years from now. Or your liver might be a little rough and your levels are not where they should. You might want to hold off on, drinking every single day. But these people continue to do so. So when you cross these people, do you feel sorry for them? Because I call them alcohol and drug related illnesses that they pretty much brought on themselves. Do you feel, is there like a soft spot for these people in your heart? Or is it like, well, you sort of saw the signs coming, they gave you a warning and you didn't listen?
I'll say before 2020, I definitely feel like I was more judgmental. Just like, how could you do that? But after going through what I went through,
I'm telling you, I used to be the same way. I would turn my face up in a minute and look at you from across the room, and you wouldn't even want to come nowhere near me.
Yeah, it's so easy to kind of, it's so easy to judge. But yeah, after going through what I went through and having to get assistance outside of myself to get through what I was going through, I started to have a lot more empathy for people. And in my brain, I started saying, I can't imagine what they're going through for them to have to numb themselves like this. And just kind of saying a prayer in my mind, because I'm like, at the end of the day, judgment does nothing to help somebody. If you love someone that's an addict, alcoholic, what have you, judging them is not going to get them to stop what they're doing. You can judge them and then make it worse. They push away from you. Or you can lead with love and maybe have conversations with them and encourage them to talk to somebody. You can ask any of my friends, I'm always, you should go to a therapist. And I mean, I started and I've seen how much my life has changed. My relationship with myself has changed. I can even say that my friends have seen how I've changed. So I'm always kind of just saying, like, whatever you need, whatever your therapy is, whatever your meditation is, just to let them know, like, yeah, I may have not, taken that route. But from the outside looking in, I can imagine that there's something that you don't want to talk about or you can't talk about, that you have to go to those lengths to mask. And maybe if we had more resources for people, if there wasn't as much stigma for getting help,
that's true.
You wouldn't have to deal with addicts. Because it's, like you said, it's really an illness. If people could stop, they would. For a lot of times, people realize they can't stop. They've gone kind of past that point of no return. I won't say they can't stop. It's just extremely challenging to stop on your own. And that, it's okay to get help.
Listen, I had somebody last year, right? I'm so glad that I have not resulted in, those types of things. But I had somebody last year say, hey, Laren, what's going on? They have you all over the place. They got you in Jersey, you in New York, you in Philly, you out on Long Island, you everywhere. All of this stuff here, this is enough to give you a nervous breakdown. I sort of like laughed it off a little bit. And then something happened to where I was like, hell, you know what? I am going to have a nervous breakdown because a couple things are going to happen. You call me one more time on this phone was telling me what I better do and how I better get to point B when I'm at A and I'm hours away and I know that there's no full way that I could physically do it. And you're threatening my job and my well being and my financial status. Yeah. The old me was ready to take a drive and do some things. So that and the stress of running a household and family and kids and stuff, and it's one thing for the devil to try to attack you, but when the devil tries to attack your children, that will put you into a whole nother situation. So one day
Yeah.
I knew I had to take some time off for myself, and this is when this whole COVID thing happened, and somebody said, "Oh, Laren, what did you do, have a nervous breakdown?" And now that I look at it today, I can say yes, everybody. Retail, the stressful situation of, like I said, running a household, and when the devil attacks your children, is one thing for you to get attacked. That's not saying that that's easy. That's hard enough. But when it comes after your children, then that's definitely enough to make you have a nervous breakdown. And absolutely, I had to take some time for myself and say, yeah, I guess that's what that is then. I don't know what it is, but that's what it is. So anybody out there that's watching and listening and knows, yeah, it can happen to the best of us. And I'm so thankful that I didn't pick up any, drugs or alcohol or anything like that, because when you get to a breaking point, when you're broke down and it is what it is, what's left? If it's right there, then what are we waiting for? You know, where you else you gonna go when you at your breaking point? What else? All right, we here, we at the bottom. We can't go any lower. So what are we doing here? But in anything else, winter always turns to spring.
Yep. Yep, that's perfect. I think about that. I think about rain. Like, after the rain, the sun's going to come. Like, time is going to pass. Like, that's one of the things that kind of helped me move forward. Just like, you're experiencing hardship and your world may stop, but the sun still rises again. So, like, with that passing of time, if the world can keep going on, you can keep going on. It's not easy. Like, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
That is
that's
true.
Why some of us are called to it.
That's true. Now, you sound like you've been through some things, right? So how easy is it for people to play games with you? I mean, I don't know if you're in a relationship. I don't know how that route is. I don't know if that caused some of your pain. A lot of people who go through some real stuff in their life is due to other people causing it. And sometimes you might feel as if you're the problem, because there's a lot of psychological games being played, if I'm using the right words, mental games that are being played. But once you back away and you get away from that situation, you almost realize, damn, that it wasn't me. If I had stayed, hell, I would have drove myself crazy, and maybe I would have done something that would have put me in a bad situation. But how easy is it for people to run game on you today?
It's funny that you say that. I find that, like, even though when people see me, they think that I'm mean, I'm actually a very loving person. And I've I built this facade as a defense mechanism to keep people, or to try to keep people that mean harm to me away. But I'm naturally loving. I have this nurturing spirit about me in a weird way, even though I may I'm very sarcastic. I may say these things, but I care a lot.
That is so funny. You are so funny. I mean, everything that you're saying is cracking me up because it sounds just like me. I got this like dry sense of humor that people just don't get me sometimes, and I just be cracking myself up with the stuff I be saying. Like, all right, but you may not think it's funny, but I think it's funny. But
exactly. So like, I'm hilarious. But I mean, to answer your question, I've realized that, unfortunately, for some people, and it's actually, I don't want to say I feel sorry for them, because it's not for me to pity somebody else, but for some people, they're not used to receiving love. They don't think that they deserve it. And so they'll push you away or they'll do things to you because they're used to the energy that you're giving them. For a lot of people, they're used to very chaotic and negative and violent energy. And so, like when you say relationships, I've started to use that word to refer to all relationships, whether it's romantic and platonic. And quite honestly, within the last couple of years, definitely had, heartbreak from romantic relationships, and also platonic relationships, unfortunately. But, initially that initial passion is just like, oh, they hurt me. I hate them. But it's just like, I did what I was supposed to do. I gave you love because you're deserving of love and you just weren't able to receive it. And I also have to hold myself accountable because the lesson I'm learning is everybody's deserving of love. But when someone shows you that they cannot reciprocate what you're giving, it's time to move.
For the first time.
It's time for you to move.
The first time,
you can still love them from afar.
Yeah, but see where we have a problem is, and I'm just speaking on my own experiences, is full well that it, and I spoke about it yesterday, that it just wasn't going to work right from day one because of what you heard, what you saw, the feelings that you felt from day one. Damn well that this ain't going to work, but you want to stay anyway to try to convince somebody or try to change somebody or try to, manipulate the situation to have it work well for you. And I will tell you all, ladies and gentlemen, it has never worked for me because I would always find somebody who liked to, and these are just some examples, someone who likes to spend before they even have, okay? And I am like the exact opposite. And now we clashing back and forth because, you doing this, but I would prefer that we do this. You doing this, you doing that. So that's one example. Then there's one person who would like to look everywhere else but at me. So, and I'm looking directly at you and blocking everything else that's around me. So now you got somebody who got eyes for everybody else and then somebody who's one person that doesn't work. But you think you could try to change people and it just doesn't work. And sometimes if it's fresh, it's new, if you're just a little bit exciting, in the beginning we all are exciting, but then while it starts to fade away. But if you were just a little bit exciting in the beginning and a little bit of excite about you, they're going to cover some things up and try to change a little bit just for the moment.
Yeah.
But once that starts to fade away and that excitement wears, might start to give a little attitude or throw some shade here or there and y'all going back and forth with each other, trust and believe that all of those habits and all of those things that you discussed or had disagreements about or issues in the beginning, they don't go back to doing it. If not, they're going to go on a little bit harder than what they did in the beginning.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. And it's funny because, like, with what you're saying, it sounds like my last relationship, quite honestly. And, when I can look past the emotions, the anger and things like that, I try to just look at it from a bird's eye view and just like, sometimes people really, they want to do or be different. I think people are catalysts for others. And it kind of brings me back to what I was saying before, like change is hard. Dedicating to being the best version of yourself is not easy. And so some people I think, I'll speak for myself, like when some people meet me and they get to kind of see the other side of me, the personal side of me, sometimes they may want to try it on for themselves. And it's like you can't do it because of me.
Right.
You have to do it for yourself. And I can say, again, in my last relationship, it's just like, you doing these things for me, it's not going to last. Because if I do something that pisses you off, or if you're just tired.
Tired. Keyword tired. Yeah. It's hard to keep up with them. It's hard to play charades and keep up with games and stuff that you ain't really used to.
Yep, absolutely. It's like working out. Like you have to want it for yourself.
Yeah, it's mentally exhausting. Yeah. But, you all can change it. Everybody can change their life. Like I've said before, change it. Like someone should come up to you and be like, "Did you create this?" And you should be like, "Yes, I created this life. Everything that you
Yeah.
see here is what I created because this is what we've been put here to do is to be creative and be our best that we could possibly be. You should just be in your life sitting there being miserable and being like, well, this is basically what was handed to me. If you're out there and you have those vibes or those feelings of, well, this is just what's been handed to me, and I guess I just have to go along with this plan. I guess I have to show up at this job over and over and over again, doing this same that I hate, smiling in the face of the people that really don't like me or care for me. You can change anything starting today, starting tomorrow when you wake up, hit that reset button and do something new. What you do today, what you do tomorrow is going to shape your future and change everything, change the course of it. I'm telling you, keep working on it,
Yeah.
trying it,
Yeah.
keep pushing, keep doing something different, level up the best way that you can. Get in contact with people who can possibly teach you something or show you something and work on it and move. You can't sit here and talk about it and then don't actually put any actions into it because it ain't going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you said that because it reminds me of there's an affirmation. I can't remember what month I released it, but kind of paraphrasing, it's like each day I wake up is, a brand new, chance to start over again. Like, okay, I didn't do this yesterday, but I got to wake up today.
Absolutely.
And I can choose to do it differently now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Wow, Jeslyn, I appreciate it. Our time is up. I can't believe it. We were going all over the place tonight, but that is just cool. That's just what we do here inside the 4-1. So go ahead and let everybody know about your business. Shout out your handle names. I don't know if you're on any other social media platforms other than Instagram, but just let everybody know.
Yeah. So again, I'm Jesslyn. I'm the owner of Lovely. We put the U in unique. We're celebrating what makes us different and what makes us unique. My social media handle is the same for most of the other social media accounts. So it's Unique Lovely LLC on Instagram and TikTok. And make sure to check those accounts out. You get to see posts of new merch. You get to see how I come up with these ideas. I started doing tie-dye during quarantine. So you also get to see kind of behind the scenes and things like that. And every other Wednesday, I want to say, I do a segment called What If Wednesday, where we kind of focus on sustainable fashion and how to breathe new life into gently worn clothing. So make sure to check that out.
Okay. Now, do you like seafood? I know we got to run, but do you like seafood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
we got a lot of things in common. So you ain't that far. We're only about 3 hours apart. So I definitely, if I go towards your area, would love to meet up with you. We could have some seafood and discuss and have some great conversations because there's some great spots out where you're at. So I definitely like that.
Yeah, most definitely. I look forward to it.
Yes, very good. Now tomorrow I have a show called Reading Between the Wines. It is at 8 o'clock. So I know we out here 10 o'clock tonight, but if you are available, Jeslyn, please tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You definitely don't want to miss it tomorrow.
Okay, I definitely will.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you and have a great night. And it was a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you tonight.
Thank you so much, Larry. Really, I can't thank you enough. It was great meeting you and chatting with you. Have a good night, too. Good night to everyone listening.
All right. Take care.
You too.
There y'all have it. That is Miss Jeslyn from Unique and Lovely LLC. Wow. Amazing, amazing. So now, we are getting ready to get this book tomorrow. Gibbs and Black are coming here tomorrow night. And thank you so much for giving myself and my co-host, Mrs. All in the Cars with Kathy, a copy of your book. So tomorrow we're going to dig into He Said, She Said, 12 Uncensored Tales of Love and Lust. So, when I got this book, I was like, oh, okay, let me just go ahead and open this up and see. And I got to the first chapter and I saw and read out loud the first couple pages, and I said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good show." So tomorrow, Gibbs and Black, He Said, She Said, 12 Uncensored Tales of Love and Lust, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, is there some love, and there definitely is some lust in here. Let me tell you that. Um, yeah, Gibbs and Black tomorrow. I've waited a long time for this show to happen, so can't wait for that. Thursday, we got JR Candle Company. Friday, freestyle session. So if you want to chop it up with me, you want to have a conversation with me and go live on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, come right in here on Friday, and we will see what is going on with freestyle sessions. Saturday, we have Native Black Clothing Co. And then Sunday is going to be a whole nother situation as well. So almost like Gibbs and Black, going to be the sensual garden is coming in. So we always have fun with sensual garden and rain toy boxes and seduction spots and all of those great things come on the 401 podcast. I love when we have those nights. So it's definitely going to be one of those nights. So the sensual garden coming in to the 401 podcast on Sunday. All right. So, if you'd like to support the 401 podcast or Reading Between the Wines, go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. And I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and also introducing, we will be streaming live from D Live tomorrow for the first time. So, again, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and tomorrow I will be streaming live from D Live. So, click all those links above, all of my social media platforms, and go inside of Shop Black Diamond. And anything that you purchase inside of Shop Black Diamond will help support the 401 podcast and Reading Between the Wines. And I appreciate all of the love and support from each and every one of you. Anyone who's purchased and bought anything from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate all of the pictures and the thing we post up, and it's just amazing. So, last night I talked about Kelly Price, Mirror Mirror, and tonight I want to talk about an album called Faith from 1995 from Faith Evans. Reason why I picked this album to speak about tonight was because I did a post today of my daughters when we were in Orlando, and that interlude from Faith, You Are My Joy, she actually dedicated that to her child. And I just felt that it just was very perfect to, recite those words and pass that along to my children. So, You Are My Joy interlude from the Faith album from Faith Evans, it definitely touches me. But let's talk about some of these songs that are on this album. So, I'm not sure any Faith fans out there, any Mary J. Blige fans out there, but Mary definitely was a part of this album as well. And I just definitely have to put that out there because I know there was a lot of shade behind it. And, Faith has helped Mary in the past. And, Mary has definitely helped Faith as well. So, all of that back and forth as far as this person was on this person's album and this one wrote this and this one did that, there would be no My Life without Faith, and first of all, I'm gonna be the first to say that there would be no Faith without Mary J. Because when it first was released, there was a song called "Love Don't Live Here Anymore," which was the remake from Rose Royce. Mary J. Blige was on that, and I'm gonna just be the first to say it. And I know, I'm the number one Mary J. Blige fan, and it's probably gonna seem like I'm coming off. I guess non-objective. But that Love Don't Live Here Anymore, when Mary was on it, it first was released. If you have one of the original copies where it says duet with Mary J. Blige, she actually made that song. And I'm not saying that just because I am a Mary fan. how Mary says, I'm not saying that I'm the best, but I'm the best. Well, I'm not saying it because, but I've listened to the one where Faith or whoever did it, where they erased Mary's lyrics off of it because of some drama or some beef or whatever. And it don't sound good at all. Compare them both. YouTube it, whatever you want to do it. Pull up the one with Mary J in it and listen to how it flows, and then listen to the one with Faith that she has by herself. But that's not why we're here talking about Faith. I'm talking about the songs and what they did to you during that time frame. You know, songs like No Other Love, like the beat got me from the beginning. The first track off of the album, that did it for me. Songs like Soon as I Get Home, what happened when that came out? What were you feeling and what were you going through when you heard Soon as I Get Home? For me, it was Ain't Nobody. It was beat. It was just, I could just listen to that beat without Faith singing, and just that, just all these vibes. Ain't Nobody, that just did. And then of course You Used to Love Me. Everybody was, rocking to that. And songs off of that album that really, 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 I'm telling you, when they really just will always be records and always be albums that are touch you and that are a piece of your life and that take you somewhere and you just go to a whole nother dimension. This is one of them. Songs like You Just Don't Understand. You Just Don't Understand. Come Over. Songs like Come Over off of that. That's what I'm talking about. Songs that take you on those journeys like that. Reasons. Anybody understand that? Those are tracks. Those are things where you just play them. You turn out your lights, you light your candles, and you just go to a whole nother dimension. Faith will take you to a whole nother level. But wow, Don't Be Afraid. I knew what was up with Don't Be Afraid. Listen to Don't Be Afraid and let me know who's in the background, who you hear in the background. I mean, y'all said it about the My Life album. That's cool and all. But listen to Don't Be Afraid, right? And then be like, who's that in the background? I know that voice is very familiar. So there we go. Shout out to Faith Evans, 1995. I just wanted to take y'all back a little bit. What were y'all doing when that album came out? And, how that make you feel? I know songs like You Just Don't Understand, Don't Be Afraid, Reasons, Come Over. That's enough to take me to a whole nother dimension. But I just want to say thank you all so much, everybody out there who joined in, hung out there with me. I see you on Instagram. I see you on Facebook, TikTok, and y'all hung in there as long as y'all could on YouTube. I appreciate you. But thank you so much. But I want to give a thanks and special shout out to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give y'all the podcast one more time in life. Without him, none will be possible, and we wouldn't even be here doing this thing. So, again, I thank every one of y'all for rocking with me tonight. It was a great show. Very special shout out to Miss Jeslyn. I appreciate you. Unique and Lee. Y'all check her out at Unique and Lovely Biz. Unique and Lovely.biz. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Wednesday night here, reading Between the Wine. Now remember, y'all gonna need to put kids away because this is definitely not gonna be a show for the kids to come around. We're gonna be sipping wine and we're gonna be reviewing this book here. He said, she said, Gibbs and Black. He said, she said, Gibbs and Black. So we got 12 uncensored tales of love and lust. So this is gonna be off the chain tomorrow. Gibbs and Black. It's all in the cards with Kathy. 8 o'clock here on Reading Between the Wines. Oh my goodness, I'm getting them all confused. 8 o'clock on Reading Between the Wines. Thank you all so much. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8. Have a good night.